Hello, my little lovebirds. TonyaTko here. And I haven't done a video in a minute because the last video that I did, I wanted to let that marinate for a while. And you know, I make videos when the moment moves me or something moves me emotionally to make a video. You know, I don't put them out there just for no reason. You know, I'm trying to get a message across, trying to relate a message, taking something from the inside. And if I don't feel the inspiration, then I don't make the video. And so I let that last video marinate. And today I was going to talk about Frank Ocean. And for those of you who want to discuss Frank Ocean coming out of the closet, come over to my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/TonyaTko show. And that's Tonya with an O, TonyaTko show. And we'll discuss it over there. You can also discuss it with me on Twitter because I'm going in. I'm sorry, I'm disappointed by what's going on. But today I wanted to talk about the cycle of life, leaving a legacy, karma, what we put out there. I just really want to talk about life. And I took some brief notes, but most of this is really just coming from the inside because I don't want to say distraught. I did shed a few tears before I started the video, but I'm okay right now. Remember that video that I did last year, Can a Caucasian Male Protect Me? And I came out after going out with this colleague of mine. We went out and he said some really horrible things to me. And when we went out, you know, there were a bunch of black men who were catcalling me, and he was just like, you know, like whatever. And then I confronted him afterwards, and I made the follow-up video, my fat rant, and where he basically admitted that, you know, he was saying what he was saying to kind of take me down a notch because he felt like I was too big or too special or too whatever, and he wanted to bring me down a notch so that I watch the video. It's there in black and white. Well, it's there in color. Well, the reason why I bring that video up is because I reached out to him. You know, after that, I just kind of kept my distance from him. I didn't really have the desire to speak with him, right? Even though, you know, he owns a boat and I wanted to go out sailing. I did not contact him. I kept to myself. But something started to kind of like gnaw inside of me, and it was like, contact him, contact him. So I contacted him, and he was deathly ill. Deathly ill. And I was really surprised to hear that, and I started thinking about, you know, just life in general, and about karma, and about, you know, the things that we put out there, how it comes right back around to us. I remember when I did that video in 2007. I'll attach it to this video, or you can look for it, my epic year of travel, in which I had that near-death experience. And I spoke about the people that I turned to when I was ill and I needed help, and how they turned their backs on me, right? And I remember one by one, like the people with the most grotesque offenses, one by one, not even in a great span of time, but one by one, they all started to get sick. One guy splintered. He splintered the bones of his foot, and they had to, of his leg and foot, and they had to be screwed back together, and he was put out of commission for months. And then other people, one by one, little things started happening to them, and I was just like, so let me just tell this to you straight up and down. Don't ever worry about keeping yourself inside somebody's life to give them their just desserts so that you can make them pay it. No. What they've done is their karma. You go on and you live your life. And listen, everything that we put out there is going to come back around to us. So you let whatever they've put out there come back around to them. You make sure that you put good things out there and let the good come back around to you. So basically, I called him, and he was deathly ill. And I was just like, wow, you know, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I was really shocked and really, you know, sad to hear that. So this is another message I'll give to people. When your spirit and your psyche is nagging you to reach out to somebody, reach out to them. Reach out. You never really know what may be going on and what the universe, why your earth angels or why your guardian angels are telling you to reach out to this person. So something told me to call him today, and his number was disconnected. So now after our last conversation, because you know what, listen, I told him, I said, listen, I'm going to come visit you. He liked to read. He liked classic literature. So I was like, I'm going to come. I'm going to sit with you. I'm going to read with you. And he was like, no, I don't want you to see me like this. And you know what? He knew that he had been so horrible to me that the last time that I'd seen him, that he didn't even want me to come and spend time with him, because he knew in his heart that he had done me wrong. You know, he was really horrid to me. But I told him, you know what? Listen, I know that we as human beings, we are a culmination of all of our actions. And that was one action that he did that day. But for the bulk of our friendship, he had been all right. He had been all right. You know, so that's another thing that I'd like to put out there. There's like 3 or 4 lessons in this video. You know, we as human beings, we are fluid and we are always in motion, and there's no black and white. We are constantly moving, growing, evolving, changing. And the persons that we were before are not the same people that we are now. And I once read this thing on the internet that said it takes like a lifetime to build up trust and like 1 second to destroy it. And I'm going to say, open up your hearts. You know, open up your hearts. And if somebody has had a good track record overall, judge them by the culmination of their actions, not just 1 or 2 that that sent you reeling towards the end. So I I called today and his phone was disconnected. And so I immediately started to think, oh my goodness, you know, what's happened to his phone? You know, perhaps he didn't pay the bill, perhaps he did whatever. And then it said that there was a new number to contact. So I was like, okay. So I contacted the new number. And when I was calling, I was like, oh my God, somebody's going to tell me that he died, right? And I'm like, this is really sad, because, you know, life moves in an instant. Here today, gone tomorrow in an instant. So some of you who have like beef with people and all this other stuff, squash the beef, because I swear we never know. We never know. I was explaining to somebody today what a commodity time is. And time is the only commodity that we don't know how much of it we actually have. And we don't know when that time is going to be up. So it's like the people that you're not talking to, you got anger and animosity with you, this, that, and the other, cut that out. Tell somebody that you love them today. Don't save that for another day. So let me go on with the story. So the number was disconnected, forwarded to a friend. I called and his friend answered the phone, and his friend told me that his friend was in a nursing home. Now this is not even a really old guy, but he was in a nursing home, and part of the reason, let's talk about this, right? He's in a nursing home. He had been married but divorced, and him and his wife divorced on really bad terms. And seeing how he likes to lash out at people and take them down a notch, I can see how people can split with him on bad terms. 2, he did not have children. So he has no children to take care of him. And on top of that, he did most of his work off the grid. He did contract work. So I don't know what type of insurance plan he had in place, but he did his work off the grid. And so now and that's another thing, lesson number 5, let me talk to some of you guys. What are your plans if something happens to you? If you get ill, if you get sick, if you can't work any longer, do you have enough built up in Social Security? And people say Social Security is not even going to be there. Do you have enough built up in a retirement fund or in an investment fund, or in case I get sick, or an insurance fund to be able to take care of yourself if something happens? So basically, he's in a nursing home. I don't know how the nursing home is getting paid for. Oh, I didn't ask. That's none of my business, you know. But basically, I'm just looking at the cycle of life. And I think that this is a travesty. And he's been sick so long now. He said that he's been sick for like a few months now. And it's a good thing I spoke to him when I did. Otherwise, he said he's been sick for a few months now. And I'm sorry. This is just, I'm sorry. Let me just rewind this a little bit. You know, I think that we as human beings, we have to be cognizant of what it is that we're putting out there. You know, if you want to have a friend, first you have to be a friend. Lesson number 6 in this video. If you want to look around at your life, look at the life that you're living and what's going on inside your life around you, whether or not people want to hang out with you, whether or not people want to be with you, whether or not you have any friends at the end of the day. And I'm saying if you want to have friends, you have to first be a friend. Be that person to, you know, listen to a person when they need somebody to listen to. Be there for another person when they need somebody to be there for them. Not just come around when you need some money or when you need something or when you need to talk, but when they need something or they tell you a secret, you're telling their secrets to other people and you're unreliable. You're not to be counted on. You don't have time for them when they need anyone. Look at your life and look at what you're putting out there. And I want to ask some questions, ladies. And you know who you are, but I'm going to address you in this video anyway. Ladies, if you were to get married tomorrow, let's say you were to get married next month, and you know you have to do the wedding planning, do you have enough female friends to even have a row of not maids of honor? Are they called maids of honor? One is called the maid of honor. What are the other ones called? Oh my goodness. Bridesmaids. Do you have enough female friends to have a row of bridesmaids there? Or is your groom going to have 6 and 7 groomsmen and you're going to have one person up there? Ladies, I want you to answer the question. You know who you are. And men, I want to ask you, if you got sick today, who would visit you? Who would visit you? You know, I know that I know friendships take time. So, men, I want to ask you that question. Who would visit you? Will your boys come visit you? Because I've been in the hospital before, and those days can get very lonely, especially when you're there 24 hours a day. Who would visit you? And mothers, I want to ask you, mothers, a question. For the mothers out there, how are you treating your children? If you got older and something happened to you and you were incapacitated, would your children opt to put you in a nursing home rather than take care of you? How are you treating your children? And then I'm going to flip that around and ask fathers. You know who you are, fathers. If something happened to you or you died, would your children even care? Would they look after you? Or would it be like Tupac's song, their anger wouldn't let them feel for a stranger? Those are my 4 questions out there that I want to put out there to people. You know, I just want to ask, as human beings, are we reinventing ourselves? Are we falling into old patterns? Are we good people? Are we putting good vibes out there? You know, I would love to be like, oh yes, the whole world is made of raspberry icy and cotton candy and Skittles rain from the sky and everyone is so wonderful and so joyous, and when we talk, chocolate milk comes out our mouths. No, I know that there's some people out there who are doing some things that they shouldn't do, treating people in ways that they shouldn't treat them, cheating, lying, abusing, burning bridges. I have a person in my family who is constantly burning bridges, so much so that there's the circle of where she can go is so small because she's burnt so many bridges around her, good, viable bridges. And I'll tell you, I have burned some bridges in my life. I have. And the bridges that I burned because the natives kept coming over trying to pollute the place. They were hostile natives coming over, attacking my land of sanctity. And I burnt those bridges and I don't regret it. But how are you living your life? Are you cutting people off the moment something goes wrong? And I'd love to do a full video about friendship. But I'm going to say this. Rather than cutting people off, you have to realize that everybody is not meant to be your BFF, your soul sister, your, well, however you want to put it. You know, we have different people who fit into different circles, just like the Google Plus. Different circles for different people. That doesn't, just because a person doesn't see eye to eye with you on 100% of things doesn't mean that this person is a garbage throwaway person. Put them in a different circle. This is my work circle. This is my acquaintance circle. This is my circle for when I want to go out and have a wild time. You know, it may not be the people from a church circle. Okay, I'm just joking about that. But yeah. Are we putting that out there? I remember there was this guy in college, and he was, you know, he was a very good looking guy, and oh, when I say he did your girl dirty, oh, he did me dirt. It was like, it was flagrant, and it was excessive how horrid he was. It was like, it was uncalled for. And I went to like a homecoming. And I know people from my college watch my videos, but I went to a homecoming, and somebody told me that he had like, he was young too, and he had like some heart issue. He didn't know that he had the heart issue, and he just died one day in his 30s, just like that, died. And when the person told me this, I couldn't muster. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I couldn't muster anything more than just a surface sympathy. I couldn't. I mean, it was like, you know, a human being had gone. But then I wondered, in his graveyard of friendship, how many casualties, how many hearts and bones did he have scattered across his graveyard like mine? I wondered what it was that he put out into the world. And I wondered whether or not he was even a good person, or whether he was just horrid to just me. You know, listen, I don't know, I'm just so, there's just so much going on in my mind, just. And then now with this person being in a nursing home because there's nobody there for him. You know, let me ask some of you ladies and gentlemen. I know that we're getting married later and later in life, you know, but and you know, and I had a conversation with someone. I had an argument with someone recently about casual sex, and how this person sounded upwards in their 50s, and they're still talking about casual sex being so great and all this other stuff. You know what? It's like, at the end of the day, when you've not created your continuation, you've not created your legacy, and nobody on this earth really cares about you. You get surface friendships. You don't really connect truly and deeply with another human being. You don't procreate. You don't create lasting relationships. And the people around you, you treat them like property. I don't know how else to put it. What will come back into your life? Who will be there for you when something goes wrong? Who cares about you? If something happened to you in your apartment, how long, or in your home, how long would it take for somebody to find you? How long? Or are there people who care and are constantly checking in on you? Would the world feel the pain of your loss? Would the world be a worse place if you were not in it? Would the world feel the grief of you not being here anymore? Or would you leaving this world be a relief? Would the world be a bit of a brighter place? Because your cruelty and your anger, your negativity and your animosity is out of the world. Are you polluting your circles? I always talk to the people about keeping your circles clean and all of this. But what if you are that person who is funking up the place with your negativity? What are you going to do to make a change? What are you going to do so that when the piggy bank of life, so that you're putting more in than you're taking out, so that the relationships around you are better for having known you? Or would they be relieved for having gotten rid of the weight of you? What are you putting out there? What holds in line for your karma? I'm going to tell you. When I had that roommate problem a few years ago, and my roommate was attacking me and destroying my things and going through all of this, he said to me once, he said, "You know what, Tonya, you're going to get exactly what you deserve." And I said, "I can't wait. I can't wait. I want to get everything that I deserve, because I know, I know what I put out there. Oh, I give from within myself. Oh, God. I can't wait to get what I deserve." But if somebody said that to you, "You're going to get what you deserve," will that be a threat or a compliment? So I want to ask you, what are you putting out there? Remember, time right now of the essence. Right now, we got today. We may not be able to do anything about what happened yesterday, but we reinvent ourselves every single day when we make the choice of who we are. Remember that statement, "I am." You put your stamp on it. Who are you? And what is it that you do to create the story of who you are? I'm writing a book right now, a personal book, not a one on paper. My life is a book, and I'm writing the story of my life, and I'm making sure that the pages are filled with goodness. I made sure that the pages were filled with travel, and I made sure that the pages were filled with community service and giving. I made sure that the pages were filled with family events, with picnics. Yesterday I went and I saw the fireworks, and it was a big thing. We went down to the Hudson River for the very first time in my life, and now that is a page in the story of the lives of my nieces who went with me too. When I heard my little niece say for the first time, "Fireworks." Oh, and how she looked at the sky while they were bursting in the air. And I felt proud, because I know, I know. And I want to ask you, what do you know? And what type of story are you writing? Let it be a love story, not a horror story. Make the people around you and make the world a better place for having you in it. You can make that change today. Answer those questions. Ladies, if you had to get married, would you be able to have a line of bridesmaids? Men, who would visit you in the hospital? Mothers, would your children nursing home you? Fathers, would your children even know you? Listen, and I'm going to go. Give me a hug, everyone. Give me a hug. Hug, 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 hug. I love you guys. I love you guys very much. Go out there and love each other, but most importantly, love yourself. Listen, and when you have that true love, that true love coming from within, oh honey, when you have that real love, it transmits. You transmit that to the world around you. And if there's something inside of yourself that you don't love, something that's polluting you from the inside out, get your garbage bag. Get your garbage bag. Go do, do a search for my, what video did I do where I asked the NLP, self-love, and the word NLP. Look for that video. And I'll show you how to clean up some of the mess in your life. Put it in a garbage bag and throw that out. Get rid of that. It's time we start anew. Our lives are fluid. You create the stamp of who you are, and I'm creating the stamp of who I am, like you're creating the stamp of who you are. Answer the questions. Oh, Lord. I love you guys very much. I'm going to get out of here. TonyaTko, and I'm out. I'd love your comments below. Come visit me on Facebook, Twitter. Subscribe to my videos for more. I do most of my videos I'm your love guru, TonyaTko, and I do most of my videos about love. And I have a skincare company called TKO Skin, and if you want skin like mine, I know I have dark circles. Been up too much over the weekend. Come over to my website, tkoskin.com. And I'm out. I'll put all the links below. Don't worry. TonyaTko, and I'm out. Peace.